Howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas, and in this video I want to talk to you about my experience upgrading my Neo Geo MVS to have the Unico Phoenix Series 19-inch LCD screen. Look at that. It's amazing. Now you may be thinking, that's a Unico MVSX, Douglas. That's not Neo Geo MVS. It's not. When I purchased my Unico MVSX, I realized pretty quickly that I'm just not a fan of emulation. I gutted the entire thing and put all real Neo Geo hardware in it, essentially making a Neo Geo MVS Mini. It does play real cartridges. I have upgraded the sound, added speakers, I've added in a battery, I added in BIOS chip, I added in real Neo Geo joysticks and buttons and a working coin door. Everything about that's pretty much legit except for the shell. And I got a lot of pushback, I remember, on my original YouTube channel for doing that. People saying, why did you do that? These are expensive, you could have just made your own. Well, technically I couldn't, and I didn't know anything about this. I literally learned how to hack arcade cabinets with that. It was my very first one, so it just worked out. I just love Neo Geo. I love vintage video games. Huge fan. I get super nostalgic, especially around the holidays. I don't know what it is, I get really excited. So I learned about this hack from Neocvera. I'm going to drop a link to that channel in the description below, who told us all about the Karv Designs mounting kit specifically for Unico MVSX and the Phoenix Series 19-inch monitor. Gosh, this monitor is absolutely beautiful. The kit was rather inexpensive, came from Canada, took a while to ship, but that's okay. It actually sat in a box, and so did the LCD screen for months before I finally got around to doing it. I just did it yesterday. The experience was perfect. It was great, seamless. I had to jump through a few extra hoops because of how hacked this thing is. So if you have a plain MVSX, it's probably super easy to do. And next I'd like to talk about the quality of the screen. It is so vibrant, it's so bright, it's so large, it's amazing. Now, because I had hacked mine and put real Neo Geo hardware into it, I had an OSSC in there, and I don't know what happened to it. It just kind of burned out after like 2 years of usage. It just died. So then I bought this other thing called a RetroTink 5X, and that turned out to be crap for a 4x3 screen. Apparently they're really, really good with widescreen, but whenever you actually have a real 4x3 LCD, I can't get it to not be blurry. I don't know what's going on. So I need to purchase another OSSC, and then that thing is done. It's my baby. But all of the viewing angles of the LCD, from top, left, right, straight on, perfect. You do get a little bit of washout. Actually, it washes out almost completely if you're below the screen looking up at it. So if you're new to Toy Box Nostalgia, you'd love to see more content like this show up into your YouTube news feed, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Truly helps out the channel. If you like the content of this video, if you're a fan of Neo Geo, or if you just get high on nostalgia while geeking out on vintage video games, please give me a thumbs up. Truly helps out the channel. Drop a comment below letting me know what you think of my crazy Frankenstein Neo Geo MVS. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Let me get a couple of things put together here, and I'm going to catch you after this quick break. Okay, so today we are going to be upgrading my Neo Geo MVS by putting in this nice 19-inch screen from Unico. This is the Phoenix Series screen, and we also have this kit from Karv, right here, karvdesign.com. This is going to be how we mount this new screen into this Neo Geo MVS. This is technically a Neo Geo MVSX body or shell that's been completely modified to have all original Neo Geo hardware in it. As you see here, we have a working coin door, and we place coins inside of here. This is where the coins go. And I will show you how this works here. I have a USD quarter right here. The lamp inside the marquee has been replaced. All of this hardware has been replaced with real Neo Geo hardware. Coming around to the back, you can see I put two really nice speakers on here because I love Neo Geo music. I installed this nice fan. The final sound modification comes from a device that only produces vibrations in the cabinet. It's bolted down here in the base, and it vibrates whenever there are explosions, loud sounds, or deep bass in the music. Inside here, we have this amplifier for the sound. We have our current LCD right here with an LCD control board right there. And some control buttons here. It's supposed to go into an OSSC, but unfortunately I have this RetroTink 5X, which doesn't really work well with 4:3 ratio. And then I have an MVSC box inside of here, which goes directly into what should be an OSSC, and then directly into here. And all of the controls on the front of this are wired into the front of the system. It was very easy hack to do. RGB cables, as you see right there, our SCART cable. Here's some power right here, which is powering several USB devices, including the fan and including the marquee lamp, which you can't really see. It's kind of hard to see in there. So whenever I want to change out the game inside this Neo Geo MVS, what I do is I just simply turn the system off and then pull the game out. Grab another game from the shelf. Line up the nice little triangle with the triangle, push it in, turn it on. Everything lights up nice and neat. And as you see here, we're playing real Neo Geo games. You can also see the border here from the original screen that came with the MVSX. It's pretty large. Let's say it's about 3 inches. And with the 19-inch screen, it should go all the way to the edge and just be nice and bright. We're going to be testing all of that out with this great setup here today. Okay, so here I have it completely taken apart. I have removed the old original MVSX screen, and here is the 19-inch screen. Looks really nice. And I'm going to open up this kit and I'm going to put this together. Okay, so this is how I have it mounted here inside of this piece of wood. This is a nice little wooden frame here. Very nice. He's on the instruction video that I found on YouTube, which I will link in the description. He states to put these screw holes right here on the top and make sure that that is like the barcode's down here at the bottom. I'm keeping this together, by the way. I'm ignoring the tutorial just because it's an LCD controller board, which I will need for my actual MVS hardware. Okay, so I have all of my screws in, as you see here. Very nice, ready to go, ready to put it in, kind of. I'm going to remove this plastic right here, this protective plastic piece. It's clean. And I'm going to remove the plastic here from this bezel. This bezel came with this mounting kit. See these two holes right here? I'm going to make sure that they line up on the top. Okay, just like that. All right. So before I put this in, I'm going to remove the protective plastic from this whole front here. And then I'm just kind of going to just put it right back in, slide it right in. It's very easy to open this up, and I don't recommend having it like this. I just honestly had no other choice because of all of the hardware I have inside here. See, look at all that hardware. I even put like this working headphone jack on it. I don't know what to do about this. I would love to put a memory card piece of hardware on there, but I can't find one that works with the C box, the MVS 1C, I believe it is. If any of you know of a memory card reader that works with the MV1C, please let me know, and I'll definitely mount one on here after purchasing it. So, all right, let me just toss this back in here and let's take a look-see. Okay, so here's the screen inside the system. Looks absolutely fantastic. The mounting hardware looks great. I don't see any light bleed or anything like that. The screen looks really, really good. As far as the viewing angles go, though, we still have washouts. If we go down, if we go up, it's fine. If we go to the side, it's perfectly fine. Go to the side, it's perfectly fine. So that's kind of a bummer, but Look how big it is. This bezel's small. One thing to note, I know this doesn't really apply to anyone else, but I did in fact have to remove the LCD board just simply because it did not have an audio controller on it. This was the one that came with it. It's just HDMI, VGA, and then we have RGB, like, I don't know what these are called, JTAG or something. And then everything else I think is just power, and then this is the actual, like, graphics that go to the screen. So as you see here, I actually do have sound going into mine, and honestly, I don't remember why. I hacked this. I had pre-ordered this system, and I hacked all of these hacks that I just did, like essentially, as soon as I got it in the mail, it just threw the emulation motherboard away and just started putting real stuff into it. I think that it has something to do with how I had to wire this in. See? Sound comes out of these speakers and also the front speakers on the sides here. It sounds really good that way. I don't know why, especially when it's pressed against the wall. The sound bounces off the wall due to this angle right here. It's very cool. But let me turn this down. Another thing to note was putting in those little L brackets right there that came with the Unico hardware was like the hardest thing to do in my life. And the reason why is because the screws are like seemingly made out of pewter or lead. So I'd recommend when you take this apart, if you were to do this mod, take those screws to your hardware store and try to find screws that are made out of actual steel, because I'm not sure I'll ever be able to get that off of there. Just like a normal screwdriver, not a lot of torque, just shredded it. The last thing is, you may have noticed the marquee's not lit up because that's a USB light bar that's mounted inside here. So the old Unico screen that I was using, I actually bought this and it had USB in it, and as you see, that white wire was plugged right into there. I really like the new adapter that came with the Phoenix series. As you see right there, it's that small little black one right there. This is a power surge protector, and I have everything plugged into it. This is the only cable that goes to the wall in this hack. That's another USB. And it does have USB. So what I'm thinking of doing, as you see, is USB right there. There's two of them down inside there. What I'm thinking of doing is just buying a powered USB hub and just placing it right in there. And I can plug the rest of this stuff all into there and we'll be happy to go. And there it is, my friends. This is the Phoenix Series 19-inch screen from Unico placed into my Neo Geo MVSX shell, my mini NVS, essentially. This screen is fantastic. It's super vibrant. It didn't alter the picture in any way. I highly recommend anyone who has a MVSX from Unico to go ahead and perform this upgrade and get the mounting hardware from Karv Design, because this was super easy to do. Considering all of the hoops that I had to jump through, I can only imagine somebody without a hacked MVSX having a much easier time doing so. But again, this is going to change your experience completely, and I'm super duper happy with it. The mounting process and the mounting hardware was all perfect.